All right, so we are been out here working. I've done a few videos showing you how I'm working on this spoon. So now I've got to the rasping. Now, I'm not saying this is the technique. You may have a seasoned professional spoon maker come on here. This is just how I do it. And you know, I may take a Dremel to it in the end, but right now I'm just using these hand tools. This old piece of hickory I split up. I've been carving the pith out of the top, and we finally got a majority of that pith out of there, down to the outer wall of that pith, and got a little more to get out of here. You hear that thunder? That thunder's coming. We're gonna get some rain. But yeah, I'm trying to do some of these here lives. Just make short YouTube videos while I'm working. Just show people what you can do. This may not be the right way. This may not be the wrong one. But what I will say in these comments, if you are a seasoned woodworker and you know better techniques, kindly put your information in the comments for us. Please, no trolling, but if there are trolls, we'll just delete their comments. If you're a smart aleck, say it in a smart aleck way, we'll delete that too. But we won't block you. I usually don't block people unless they're just really, really aggravating. But if you don't know, a rasp, this is a 4-in-hand rasp. We sell these on our website. And these are like wood files, basically. Now, usually you'll have that on the whole thing, and then another part on the back. Well, the 4-in-hand, you've got 4 different grits on them, 4 different settings. We just say settings because we're in the new age. But yeah, they're a few different settings on them. Let's see here. Let me use this rounded part for this little bit of a pith right here. I'm gonna shape it out of that. Sometimes I do leather work, sometimes I do woodwork, but I've been kind of talking about the inequality stuff. You know, people holler inequality, inequality. You know they can't make you unequal unless you let them. You know that. And here's the thing. We count inequality as money and things of that nature. You don't need money if you learn how to make stuff. You might need it to begin with. Get your tools. I want you to think about that. Once you get your tools, you don't need anybody. Well, you need a few people. But you can find like-minded people. People used to not buy houses. People used to not buy furniture. One of my old woodcrafting books that I read in a lot, it says it all. So they used to make it all. They just trapped you into this society by making you buy everything. Whew, dang, fly. Huh? Yeah, I'm live. You want to be in it? Let me holler at him. Gotta go get my son. Hey, Brandley, maybe he's here. Brandley. I think he's down there at Mama's. There he is, there he is. Mimi's here. She's that weird woman in that car. I said Mimi's here, she's that weird woman in that car. Hey, get your stuff, son. You get to see a little family life in this. I don't think you gotta worry, Jenny. Ain't nobody on here right now. It's just gonna post for later. You won't have to worry about being embarrassed till later. Imagine living out in the country where you can just holler to the top of your lungs at everybody around you. But yeah, that woodcrafting book made a lot of sense. And what it was saying really seemed to hit home with what I was trying to teach my kids. So all you anarchists, all of you patriots, all you people that talk about inequality, we can all meet right here on this subject. They cannot hold you if you don't have to use their currency, or if you limit how much of your currency they use. They can't tax you if you're just trading. But they can only tax you if you elect them to be in those positions. So just remember that, folks. That's a real lesson. But we used to be a lot more free, and it was because we didn't depend on them. When you go into these stores, which I do it too, I'm preaching to the choir right here. But when you go into those stores and you spend that money, you're enabling them because they're getting taxes off that. When you go in that booth and you vote on people that are making laws that make you more dependent, that tell you, hey, you got to do this with your house and that with your house and this with your land and that with your land. You got to do this with your money. You're making yourself more. You're enabling the system to function, and that is truly the real issue. And I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, whatever you want to think. You're my mother-in-law. See that red Ford? That's her. Y'all be watching for her. Make sure she acts right. But when you learn certain skills that a lot of us have lost, our forefathers knew these things. But when you learn these skills, you take the power away. That's why they want you dumb, because they're easier to control. If you need their wares, if you need their waters, if you need their systems, well, heck, just like Jesus said, you render to Caesar what's Caesar. Well, heck, you might as well just pay them some taxes if you're over there using their services. But if you don't, and you truly don't, you got to learn to get off of their services, or be willing to pay for what little bit of their services you use. That's crazy, ain't it? That's crazy, but that's life. We could completely defund these people that make our lives miserable. Called politicians, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, especially in today's America. Don't they look sweet? Don't they look good? So we start smoothing it out. It's starting to look like something now. But we can completely defund these people. And they wouldn't be able to do nothing. That's when they'd start coming around. That's why they're hiring all these tax lawyers. People are going off grid, and they need to find a way to collect money off of them to run that government. People are doing this. They're van lifers, all kinds of people. That's why they're struggling to find workers everywhere. And by the way, and you may not like this, this is what I don't understand about the border. The Democrats make it hard to come across. The Republicans complain about them coming across. If we'd make the system better where they could come across, we'd have people to work in our factories and we wouldn't see shortages of workers. And the folks that don't want to work in a factory would be able to pursue what they're doing, and there'd be more people to buy from you. But that's me. That's me. That's my weird little view of things, my little view of things. Maybe not be what you believe, may not be what you think. You may think I'm slapsticking crazy, but that's what I think. I think we follow narratives and they create them. And those narratives they create help keep them in power. And I'm not an anarchist. I'm not telling you, hey, don't do what the government says. If you're living here, you got to do it, you know. Obey the law of the land. I'm a Christian. I obey God. You may not like that, but I don't really care. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You're allowed to not like it. You're not watch it. But I'm going to say what I say because I love Jesus. And I'm going to share my faith while I'm doing this, just like I share my view, you know, while we're making spoons. You go watch somebody else's spoon make a video if you don't like it. I ain't trying to be smart. Most of y'all, you're out here for politics. But it all works together, I guess. I don't like politics. I'm sick of them. I'm basically just sick of being told what to do. But I realize there's certain things I have to do in this society to keep them off my back. And, but this right here is one step closer to getting them off my back. I'm going to do a little shaping up here. Go get my hook knife. Now the good thing about starting with something big, you can always take more off of it. See, we're into the fine work. And I don't want just a little spoon, I want a big spoon. Bigger the better. Get me more chili. Get some more chili. Drop my dang sheath. And I like these hook knives. These Moore knives, they're just great for the price. You can buy cheap stuff, or you can buy yard sale stuff. You got to start somewhere. And you might be the one person who watches this video. It's the first time I've done it this way, just doing these little short lives. And hopefully you'll glean something. But you can kind of see where I'm starting right here, and I'm going to carve it up here a little more, probably about right here, and then I'm going to take my knife and slaw that front part off a little at a time and then rasp it. But the spoon is coming along, hope you see. And this knife is not just for spoons, you can make bowls with it. I like making bowls, but I've only made one. I want to make a coffee cup. So you're just catching me learning. In the beginning, I'm already seeing some pretty decent results. Watch some YouTube videos if you don't know what you're doing. Study into it a little bit. Figure out what you need, what you can use in place of something. That's what it takes, the will to learn, and people just not got that anymore. I will say this, society used to call out the weak and stupid. Pretty dang hard for stupid people to live. But we made it so easy for people to stay alive, for stupid people to stay alive in society. That's why we got this unwillingness to learn and do things on your own. People are used to having everything done for them. Ain't that crazy? Majority of my life I've been broke. And I have had to learn how to get what I need with what money I had or what time I had. Whether it be borrowing it, making it, yard sale finding it. And we go to these big yard sales. These huge yard sales, and like the world's longest yard sale, and all that good jive. We go to these things and we find just great deals. Then I got into storage units. Got a small town storage unit buying. And by the way, when you get into small town storage unit buying, you'll be amazed at how you find out everybody's business in town, what everybody's doing. And just to tell you that, get my leg out of the way there, somebody will have something to say about that. You're in the triangle of death. Oh no, oh no. There he is. The man with a plan. But yeah, we had to figure out a way to do it. We just had to figure out a way to do it. I took to cleaning sheds, I took to hauling scrap. You'd be amazed at what I found hauling scrap that people were just throwing away or wanted out of their way. I furnished my home out of a storage building for a good while. And we got a little money and we got some decent furniture, brand new furniture. And we've always had a pretty decent home, pretty nice place to live, my grandfather's house. And no, I didn't inherit it. I had to go buy it from HUD because it got bought. The lady who bought it let it go in the go back to the bank, and we were just happened to be living next door on an old lot I bought from Miss Poe. I had a trailer on, and we started to smile. My cousin Jill had bought this house when my papa died. She done a lot of good work on it. She built this big wraparound porch we have on here. So thank you, Jill, if you ever see this. Thank you for this big wraparound porch. One of her ex-husbands built it. And he done a mighty fine job. My brother actually helped him build it. I think he paid him more money. But she wanted a house in town. And her current husband bought one in a nice subdivision in town and sold it to somebody. And she found a guy with a house and she moved in with him. So she let this one go. And so we were able to get it for a decent price. And now, the price of houses now is insane in Alabama. So that just shows you, starting small. Just start small. The real problem that we're gonna have is this pith. I'm trying desperately to figure out how to get that out. It ain't gonna be hard. Get the pith out, but how to figure out how to carve this down and still use it. Because it ain't nothing but punk wood down in there. There you go. We're going to end this. I'm going to do another one, and then we'll have another good little video about the fine shaping of this.